Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Canadian Prairie. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, as we look at temperatures across the prairie here on Monday morning, a bit cooler on the back side of our upper level trough as that begins to move out. We will keep the pattern going though, so a warm up is in store for many across the prairie as we head into the middle and late part of the week, with another trough coming in from west that's going to be in a return to a stormy pattern as well as we head deeper into the week. But getting it started here, I've got on the back side of our system here, cooler and drier air making its way into the prairie. We can take a look at the radar right now. We've got some light shower activity, very isolated and scattered in nature. We'll see a little bit of scattered thunderstorm activity here across portions of southeastern Saskatchewan into southwestern Manitoba as we head through the afternoon and evening hours. We can see that here with the NAM model. We'll bring it back here to Monday morning, heading into the mid-afternoon and mid-evening hours. Again, scattered thunderstorms here across southeastern Saskatchewan into southwestern Manitoba. Maybe a rogue severe storm or two producing some hail there, but not looking at a real robust severe weather threat as we head through the next 48 hours. As we head into the day on Tuesday, looking drier for many here, maybe some showers to be found across portions of central Alberta, looking cloudy across central and southern Saskatchewan, but dry, broken cloudiness here across central and southern Manitoba. So really a pretty pleasant Tuesday for many folks here. A pleasant Wednesday as well expected as, again, keeping things dry generally across the prairie. Maybe some scattered showers to be found north of Highway 16 as you head into Wednesday afternoon, and then central Saskatchewan, maybe an isolated thunderstorm or two Wednesday afternoon and evening. This little disturbance producing scattered showers and storms generally north of Highway 16 continues off to the east across northern and central Manitoba as we head into mid-afternoon on Thursday. And then we're going to start to bring in a much more robust rain and thunderstorm threat, at least day by day across some select areas here as we get into the end of the week and our next storm system begins to approach from the west. So just between now and Thursday afternoon, looking at generally just scattered precipitation amounts, heaviest across central and southern Saskatchewan down into southwestern Manitoba. Again, this is where I expect some scattered showers and storms to flare up during the day today. And then generally north of Highway 16, this is where we could see some showers and storms as we head through Tuesday into Wednesday. So we take a look at the instability forecast, again looking at low to maybe moderate instability as we get through the afternoon and evening hours here today. Again, just flaring up some scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms within that, and again maybe a strong storm or two producing some hail. As we head through Tuesday and a relatively pleasant Wednesday, again keeping instability highest well off to the south across the American Great Plains here, but so we're starting to get later into the week, Wednesday evening, and then here, look at Thursday. Our next storm system approaching from the west. That's going to start to flip the pattern here and draw a much more warm and moist environment back into the prairie. So taking a look at that upper level pattern here, 500 millibar height anomalies. Again, we'll bring it back to the start of the week. We'll actually see some ridging moving in. That's going to allow for a warm up here as we get into midweek, right here around starting tomorrow, but then really getting into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, starting to see those temperatures warm up. But you see what happens here as we get into the later part of the week, that trough beginning to develop across the Pacific, across the west coast, and that starts to swing into the prairie here as we get into the later part of the week. We're getting into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at this point. And so that's going to turn things much warmer, especially across the east, bringing in a much warmer and unstable air mass, but then also bringing in much faster jetstream winds along that tight gradient here, and that's going to lead to the upper level support for several more rounds of showers and thunderstorms, much more organized with the potential for some severe weather to be found within that. Now the pattern does keep moving, so we bring this trough from west to east into the prairie as we get into the weekend, and that will bring in cooler temperatures from west to east as we bring in this stormier pattern as well. So lots to talk about, especially as we get into our Wednesday and Friday forecast here across the prairie. One more way that we can see that is looking at the Jetstream Winds here. Again, on the backside of our system, relatively weak winds coming in across the prairie. The upper level low now moving well off to the east, to be found here across eastern Canada. And then our next storm system, you can start to see the faster Jetstream winds with that well off to the west, still across the Pacific Ocean. Now as we head into the week now, getting into late Monday, now Tuesday, getting into Wednesday, I want you to be watching this trough now pushing in from the west. You're starting to see some of those faster jetstream winds now pushing over the prairie as we get into late Wednesday. So that means central Alberta, our western prairie areas here, maybe seeing some of that shower and storm threat ramping up late Wednesday, but Really, as we get into Thursday, remember that's when we've got that high instability here across portions of southwestern Manitoba, southeastern Saskatchewan, starting to get some of that upper level support, and then really especially getting into here to Friday and Saturday. Now we're seeing that main trough axis begin to rotate into the prairie. So again, the response here, we're looking at the precipitable water, so moisture content within the atmosphere. As the loop gets started, you see flow just slowly out of the north, relatively dry air mass, but here's we get towards the end. Look at the profile here, moistening, and we're also flipping the script here. As I bring it back here, you're going to see the winds, the moisture transport flipping out of the south as we get into the later part of the week in response to our trough moving in from the west. There it is, much more saturated profile, much more deep, deep moisture. That's going to bring that hot, humid, and muggy air mass back in, one that's much more supportive to severe storms and heavy rainfall, even though it may not be widespread. Everybody seeing that, thunderstorm and heavy rainfall threat. But as we get into the late part of the week, we see several waves coming in with that trough here, bringing in the potential again for showers and storms to the region. We'll see that here when we look at the precipitation forecast now from the European model, putting all of this together. Again, here is our scattered shower and storm threat, primarily across central and southern Saskatchewan into southwestern Manitoba as we head through the afternoon and evening hours today. As we head through Tuesday, likely a very pleasant day for many. A couple areas maybe seeing a widely isolated shower during the afternoon hours. Very similarly, as we head into Wednesday afternoon, very pleasant day for many folks, but perhaps across the high plains into central Alberta, maybe a light shower or storm during the afternoon and evening. Now, as we head into Wednesday night into Thursday, likely seeing some scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms generally north of Highway 16 across Saskatchewan and Manitoba. And then as we get into the late part of the week now, late Thursday into Friday, this is when I think, especially across Saskatchewan and Manitoba, but at times across the high plains of Alberta, we're starting to bring in much more organized thunderstorm threats here, including the potential for some severe weather. So a relatively quiet start to the week. I would imagine as we get into our Wednesday and Friday Canadian Prairie forecast, we'll be talking much more about the potential, at least for a couple of rounds of severe storms across parts of the prairie. Now, as we go ahead and we bring it back, we'll look at the total precipitation forecast here. As we talk about everything between now and Wednesday evening, it's largely, again, focused on that thunderstorm threat across this region this afternoon and evening. Generally just looking at some lighter, precipitation opportunities here back toward the west and to the north as we head through Tuesday and Wednesday. As we get into Wednesday night into Thursday, starting to talk more about organized thunderstorm activity, first north of Highway 16, but then bringing it south of Highway 16 here as we get into Thursday and Friday towards the end of the week. And then as we just kind of take this towards the end, we're just looking at the operational model run here. It's not going to get this exactly right, but you see the theme there with much more heavy concentrated swaths of precipitation possible as we get into the last few days of this week. Total precipitation over the next 7 days in terms of an anomaly. Again, if there's going to be a dry spot somewhere here that ends up a bit drier than average as the entire week is concerned across the prairie, it continues to be this little corridor here across southeastern Alberta into southwestern Saskatchewan, kind of west central Saskatchewan. And then the best opportunity for multiple rounds of thunderstorms, again, including today into tonight. Let's draw this in a different color since we're talking about excess precipitation. So this afternoon, this evening, into tonight, looking for the chance for showers and storms across this region of southern Saskatchewan into southern Manitoba. And then once again, as we get into the later part of the week, especially Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, looking for a renewed chance of showers and storms and maybe a few severe storms across this region. Elsewhere, central Alberta, looking for the chance of showers and storms again Tuesday, Wednesday, and then resuming as we head into the later part of the week. Certainly talking about the potential for some hail-producing storms across that region, especially late in the week as well. Your temperatures across the prairie then again warming as we head into the middle part of the week in response to the upper level trough here swinging off to the east, seeing a bit of ridging moving in and then also warming in advance of our next system here as we get into the middle and late part of the week. So it looks like the warmest weather here shifts into the eastern part of the prairie as we get into the late part of the week with high temperatures once again resuming the low 30s across southern Manitoba as we get into probably the weekend. So a look at your high temperatures here in Calgary, again warming back into the upper 20s here off and on as we head into the late part of the week, potential cool down over the weekend. Edmonton, you've got a very similar look here, low to mid 20s here over the next 5 days. Regina, you warm up to around 30 degrees by the time we get to Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Same story here in Saskatoon, and then Winnipeg, a little bit more delayed. High temperatures in the low to mid 20s over the next few days, but as that trough starts to move in from the west, chances for severe storms ramp up, as do the high temperatures back near 30 degrees as we head to Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Have a great day, a wonderful start to your week, and we'll be back to talk to you on Wednesday morning.